Hey, Paul back here with Road Trip Extreme to show you part 3 of this 3-part series. And we are going to show you the LR4, the Land Rover LR4. It is a 2013 model, and it's got 30-inch or 29-inch Continental, whatever, street tires, nothing crazy, nothing off-road. But I will tell you, all we did, and I'll go through it in the video too. I didn't take any video of the inside of the car, but I can always show you, comment if you want to see the inside of the vehicle. I know there's plenty of videos out there, you could probably see it, so check those out. But basically, all we did was we put the car into its highest elevation. It has a 2-inch airbag lift that it can lift the truck, so we did that. We used the 4-low option, and we also used the mud and rut terrain select. So we put all of those in place before we entered into the ditch, and you can see the results coming up right here. So stay tuned.
Yeah, we're filming here. So now we're going to attempt the Land Rover LR4. We do have our super cheap knockoff Max Tracks here just in case. We're going to hit the air suspension, lift it, put it in 4-low, and then let the car do the rest and see how it makes out. Once again, street tires, I think they're 30-inch Continentals, something like that, nothing crazy. So here we go. All right, here we are. We are in the LR4. First thing, we are going to put it into neutral and go 4-low. Made that shift. Then we are going to raise the vehicle. So now that we are raised, we're in 4-low. We're going to put it back in four-wheel in the drive. I actually am going to change the traction control select to mud and rut. And here we go. We're going to take this nice and slow. The vehicle's really pitching. And we're just letting the vehicle do all the work. And the Land Rover just eats it right up. Nothing. Like it was nothing. Unbelievable. You can't make this stuff up, people. Wow. It's a beast. It truly is a beast.
With how I feel like a jerk that I had to pull out the Max Tracks. Like, what an idiot, thinking that I needed all that.
These vehicles are all very capable of doing some off-roading, get out camping, explore, enjoy the environment, and don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to get stuck. Don't be afraid to go down a trail. Just do it. It also helps to have with you a set of, I don't care if they're not cheap knockoff Max Tracks or if you got the full-blown real deal, these things will save your butt at some point. They are just very handy. At least get a set of 2. If you can afford it, grab 4. I mean, I've seen guys get out of some pretty gnarly situations
with these things in various different vehicles in various situations. So get yourself a set. I think these were 80 bucks on Amazon. You can't go wrong. I mean, $80. I mean, how much did you spend on your tires and your lift and everything else? So grab a set, do it. They'll save your butt at some point. And yes, I said gnarly.
Okay, so real quick final thoughts on the Land Rover LR4. So I just want to be clear that first off, the vehicle is all-wheel drive to begin with. Full-time, four-wheel drive all the time. Second, we put it in 4-low, and we also use the terrain select for mud and ruts. So I just wanted to say that. So when I entered the ditch, it was weird. I was riding the brake, and I was intending to stop at the bottom. But as soon as I got to the bottom of that ditch, I took my foot off the brake, and just the torque, the power and torque that the vehicle was sending to the wheels just gave it momentum, and it just pulled itself right out of that ditch. And as I started coming up the hill, I gave it a little bit of, just a little bit of gas. But man, I'll tell you, I would never have thought it would have been that easy to just pull out of that ditch that way with street tires in that Land Rover. And I think that is just a amazing testament to the engineering and the ability of those vehicles. I mean, you pay a lot of money for them, so they better live up to their name. And they do. And I think this is a great example of, that's a 2013 Land Rover. We bought it with 67,000 miles. We bought it under $30,000. And I've seen, dealers in the area selling these things used with 60,000, 65,000 miles on them, for under $30,000, 25,000. I saw one recently in immaculate condition. If you don't plan on driving the Rubicon Trail, or anything that extreme, that is an amazingly capable vehicle. So much power, fun to drive on the road. I'll tell you, I've driven a lot of cars, as I mentioned in a few other videos. I've driven a lot of cars, and that LR4, Land Rover LR4, is hands down one of my favorite cars to just jump in and drive. Especially if you're taking a long road trip. It's extremely comfortable. It's extremely luxurious. It has power. It has giddy up. And if you put a set of all-terrain wheels on that, tires on that, there wouldn't be much that would stop it. I mean, you could do a lot in that vehicle. Granted, it's a Land Rover. You break it, it's going to cost you. So obviously you want to take care of it, but let's face it, you break your 4Runner, you bust up your suspension or anything under the vehicle, you're going to be paying a lot of money to fix that too. So it is what it is. But man, that is such a fun car. I'm amazed at its capabilities. I'm still just in awe of what just happened. We bought that car. We love it. I am planning on driving that. I plan on keeping that in the family until it literally disintegrates. That's how much I believe in that vehicle. So maybe a few years down the road, we'll do some mods to it. But right now, it's Jen's car. It's her daily driver. So we're not going to mess with it. But man, it can really get the job done. And if you're in the market and you're looking for a off-road vehicle and a daily driver, that is the vehicle for you. I'm telling you. And let me point out one other thing too. So we spent about the same amount of money on the 2016 TRD off-road 4Runner with 30,000 less miles on it to start for the same amount of money. And I have cloth interior. I don't have heated seats. All I have is terrain management. That's it. And a locking rear diff. I have way less power, about the same fuel economy on the highway. You know, and you guys just saw what happened. So, you know, granted, so let me, you know, LR4 2013 has a DVD player in it. It has, both of them have navigation. But I mean, let's face it, everybody uses their phones for the most part anyway these days. But heated front and rear seats, leather dashboard. I mean, I'm telling you, like, it is amazing. Heated steering wheel, 2013. You know, this stuff was in, you know, it's got the, you know, the airbag suspension, so you can raise the car 2 inches, you can lower the car 2 inches, so you have a max total of 4 inches of lift. And I believe somewhere I was watching a Land Rover review that in some weird way you can actually squeeze another half an inch out of the suspension depending on what the situation and what terrain management you have selected. And maybe that was a 2014 thing that they added. I'm not sure. I did not get an off-road screen to pop up on my LR4 when I put all those things in. Maybe there was a button I didn't know to push. Listen, folks, I don't pretend to know everything about vehicles or anything. In any vehicle for that matter. I'm just trying to give you my experience, what I've seen, and trying to just put that out there for you guys so you can make informed decisions based on you know things you've seen things we've done, things other people have done. So, but anyway, that concludes this 3-part series. Like I said, we might do a mashup and throw everything together and try and piecemeal this, but for now, you're just gonna have to watch these in individual parts. But maybe we'll do some real quick kind of editing and just put all the vehicles in order, and so you can kind of and do a real quick summary, and you can kind of see what's going on. So anyway, with all that said, this is Paul with Road Trip Extreme, and Road Trip X out. We'll catch you next time.